If I were starting from $0 in 2026, I would completely ignore 90% of what the internet tells you about investing. In fact, doing what everyone else is doing is the guaranteed way to stay broke. That's why more than 90% of all new investors lose money. I have been investing for more than 10 years. And in this video, I want to break down the exact plan I would follow if I had to start from scratch today. How would I realistically grow my portfolio to over $1 million? And to be honest, today it's a lot easier than it was 10 years ago. So if you're thinking to invest or planning to start investing this year, you will find this video very helpful. The first thing that I would do is to get the big picture right. Why invest? How investing is going to help me? Why investing is so important to get me to financial goals? What is my financial goals? If I don't have all of that written down, then I will give up down the road. Think of investing this way. Imagine that you have $300,000 in your pocket. You can pay a Ferrari store a visit and get yourself a brand new Ferrari. It's going to feel really exciting to have that car. You will literally enjoy that car. But a few months down the road, it will just become another car. But if you take that $300,000 and get yourself a piece of real estate, it's not going to feel as exciting as buying a Ferrari. But a few months down the road, that piece of real estate is going to generate you rental income. So while your Ferrari is sitting in the garage, your piece of real estate is working day and night to make you rich. And 10 years later, your Ferrari most likely is not going to survive if you're not going to maintain it. In the best case scenario, it is going to lose like 50% of its value. But that piece of real estate will continue generating rental income. And 10 years from now, it is going to double its value or maybe even triple. And that is the mindset that you need to have when you approach investing. So before you spend any money on things that you don't actually need, but on things that you want, such as vacations or getting yourself a more expensive car, think about how that money is going to change your life if you would spend that money on investing. Another important thing to keep in mind is to set your expectations right. A lot of people have this idea that I will start investing in January. By February, my investments will grow exponentially. By March, I will quit my job. And by the end of the year, I will be a multi-millionaire because I started investing this year. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. It is going to take you some time before your investments will actually start earning you any money or whatsoever. There is a tipping point that you reach. When you reach that point, after that, your investments will exponentially grow. Now, compare investing to learning a new skill, such as playing a piano. In the beginning, it's going to be really hard with the piano. You're not going to enjoy it. It will feel like a waste of time. But after a year or two of practicing every single day to play a piano, you will master piano and you will enjoy the game. You will come up with your own songs. The exact same analogy works with investing. So when you don't have that expectations right, you're going to start investing for a few months and then you're like, oh, I invested $20,000 or $50,000, but I'm not making any money or whatsoever. But when you have that exponential growth and the snowball effect in your head, you know that if I'm going to stay consistent and I reach a tipping point of $100,000, for example, my investments are going to exponentially grow. Now, before we get deeper and I tell you the exact investments that I will be buying, I want to share with you something that is really helpful. I can't be covering everything in this video, so I put together a free investing course that breaks down the exact principles and the strategies that I use. It is designed to give you a solid foundation and practical steps that you can take right now. It's also a community of like-minded people who are also investing or just started investing. So the community is going to become a paid community very soon. If you want to access it right now for free, you can do that by checking the first link in the description of this video. Investing could feel overwhelming because there are so many investing options. You could buy gold, silver, oil, you could go into stocks, you can buy US treasuries, cryptos, ETFs, you name it. There are a gazillion number of investments that you can make. But all of these investments fall under four major categories. The first one is the equity market, or it's known as the stock market. This is the largest market in the world. In the US alone, it's worth more than $60 trillion. This is when you buy stocks such as Nvidia or Apple, or even ETFs such as the S&P 500. The second largest market is the debt market, or it's known also as the bond market. This is when you make money by loaning your money. You loan your money to the US government by buying US treasuries. You will receive a specific amount of interest, and when that debt expires, you will get your money back. You can loan your money to the corporations, or you can even loan that money to people who want to take mortgages. When you buy a mortgage-backed security, you're indirectly offering a mortgage to someone. The third type of investment is a commodity market. Commodities are gold, silver, copper, oil, you name it. These are not stocks, and they're very different from stocks. This is not also debt. So you're basically buying a commodity because there is a scarce amount of that commodity in the world. And currently, if you look at gold prices and silver prices, you see that their prices are rising very fast. And that's because there is a huge shortage of silver and there is a huge demand for gold. The fourth type of investment are cryptos. The biggest mistake that I see people usually make is that they jump all over the place. They try to buy stocks and then they want to get into debt. They get excited about crypto. And now because gold prices are rising, they want to buy gold. But the reality is that if I'm just starting, I would never pick up all of the four types of investments. I would pick one. In the best case scenario, I would pick two, because that will allow me to focus on the right investments. The market is filled with opportunities, and trying to chase every opportunity is going to let you with nothing. But if you're focused on one, or best case scenario, two types of investments, you're more likely to win in the market. Every investment has a potential reward, which is the return that you make from that investment, but it also has a potential risk. The bigger the risk, the higher going to be the potential reward. So if you buy crypto that could grow by 100%, yes, you could double your money. But at the same time, it simply means that the probability that you will lose your money are insanely high. And if you're just starting and you lost your money or your investments are down by 50%, you will start thinking that investing is not for you, investing is a scam, and you will quit. So it's very important to ensure that you're not taking a lot of risks, but at the same time, you're getting decent returns. To be able to buy a stock, you need to open a brokerage account. A brokerage is basically the middleman between you and the stock market. So we have the stock market, the equity market, the crypto market, and then on the other side, there is you. These markets are like grocery stores. You get into the market and you buy stuff that you want. And the middleman is going to connect you with those markets. You can't go on your own to the stock market and buy stocks because there is a long list of requirements that you have to meet to be able to do that, such as having a license, having a certain amount of money, and paying a fee. So there is an independent organization that does all of that on behalf of you, which is why you are going to open a brokerage account. So when you go to Amazon, Amazon is the middleman that connects buyers and sellers. And a broker does the exact same thing. It is basically the middleman between you and the one who's selling you that stock. When you're choosing a broker, there are two most important things that you have to pay attention to. Number one, how much fees do they charge? Usually brokers today don't charge much fees, but there's still some brokers that actually take quite a lot of fees if you compare them to their competitors. The second thing that you have to pay attention to is that they have a very friendly interface, that it's an app on your phone that you can easily access and you can easily understand what's going on. Some interfaces are so bad that it is going to discourage you from investing. So here is the exact strategy that I would follow. I will not invest a single dime into any investments unless I have at least 4 months of emergency fund. So I have a certain amount of expenses monthly. Let's say I spend $10,000 a month. If I don't have an extra $40,000 in my emergency fund, I am not going to invest a single dime. Any kind of investment is very risky and volatile. In the long run, you are going to win. In the long run, you are going to make millions of dollars. But in the short run, likelihood that your investments are going to go down is insanely high. Even the S&P 500, which is a very safe investment, in the short run, it could go down, even though that if you zoom out and look at the historical picture, you will see that the market or the index has been exponentially growing. But life is filled with adventures and emergencies. Something is going to happen, you could lose your job, another pandemic could hit the world, or anything else where you need money to pay for your basic expenses. And if you end up selling your investments at the wrong time, you are going to make losses and you would never want to invest another dime. So to prevent such a scenario, you want to invest only the money that you're ready to lose. There are two ways that you can profit from the market. One is when you're generating cash flow. The second one is capital appreciation. A real estate is a great example. A real estate does both of these things. On one side, it is generating you rental income, so that's the money that you receive every month or every quarter. The second way that you profit out of it is over time, the value of that real estate grows. So you're profiting from capital allocation. So if I'm just starting investing, I would prioritize capital appreciation over cash flow. Yes, cash flow is important. It is really great to have a consistent income. But when you're getting cash flow, the returns are usually way lower than when you're profiting from capital allocation. And a lot of businesses and companies over the last 20 years have moved more into capital appreciation than paying a lot of dividends. So if you look at the largest companies in the market, you will see that they don't pay much dividends. But you will see that their stock prices have doubled in a very short period of time. So if I'm just starting and my goal is to get, for example, to $1 million, I would always focus on capital appreciation type of investments. Out of the 4 types of investments that I have mentioned, I would go with stocks 100% for a few reasons. Number 1, there is a problem with debt. You can't be making much money with it. The risks are insanely low, but at the same time, you are going to make 3 to 4% annually. And as the Federal Reserve is lowering interest rates, you will be making way lower on your debt investments. So you're not taking much risks, but at the same time, the returns are so low that it makes no sense or whatever for anybody to invest in debt unless you're sitting on millions or maybe hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, recently, silver prices are rising so fast, and a lot of people are very excited about investing in silver. But the reality is that that rally is not going to continue forever. Sooner or later, we are going to fix the supply side and silver prices are going to go down. And that's why if I'm just starting and I want to maximize my returns with the lowest possible risks, I would avoid the commodity market as well. I would also avoid crypto because crypto is simply very volatile and I'm here trying to build generational wealth. I want my wealth to continuously grow. I don't want to wake up the next morning and find out that this crypto was entirely a scam and everything just collapsed. And that's why with stocks, I'm at the same time in a position where I can grow my portfolio by 20, 30 or 50%. And at the same time, I'm not taking huge risks. Stocks are basically safer, they're much easier to predict, and they're much easier to analyze. So here's how I would diversify my portfolio. 25% of my entire portfolio is going to go into Invesco QQQ. This is a trust fund that invests in the top 100 companies in the NASDAQ. Tech stocks usually grow way faster than traditional stocks because tech companies continuously innovate and they exponentially grow. And because we are now in that period where each company is trying to win the AI race and AI could potentially change the world, it is extremely important that I also take advantage out of it if I'm just starting this year. And this trust fund basically invests in the top 100 largest tech companies that are leading AI, that are leading technology. So if you look at the last year, you will find out that it has grown by about 23.66%. More than half of the entire portfolio is invested in the technology sector, in companies such as Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla. Nvidia alone makes about 9% of the entire portfolio. If I'm really bad at picking individual stocks, I could literally just go with this trust fund that grows really fast, that invests in all of these companies that are developing AI. But it's not just about technology. Like 17% of the entire portfolio is in communication services, and it basically invests in many other services as well. But primarily, if you look at the top 10 largest companies, you will see that literally all of them are tech companies. Another 25% of my portfolio would go into the S&P 500 Vanguard. The ticker stick for this stock is VOO, and this is also a great stock because it invests in the top 500 largest companies in the US. So unlike the first ETF, this ETF is much more wider. It invests across all sectors. Technology only represents only a third of the entire trust fund. The rest are financials, communication, and so on and so forth. What you'll also pay attention to is that they invest pretty much in the exact same companies that the first fund invests in. The only difference is that they're not just limited to tech stocks, but rather they're limited to the entire US market. So they basically invest in every single company that dominates a single sector in the US. And that's why by investing in this stock, I know for a fact that I'm literally just taking advantage out of the entire stock market. The third quarter of my investments will go into individual stocks. And this is very risky because if I'm just starting, assuming that I know very little about investing, of course, I would first go and educate myself financially. I would learn how to pick stocks, how to analyze financial statements, how to read financial statements. Of course, you can do all of that in the Investing Academy for free right now by checking the first link in the description of this video. Once I have done that, I will try to pick stocks that has the biggest potential to dominate and build a monopoly in a certain sector. So for example, right now there is a race on AI and each company is trying to dominate this sector. So whoever dominates AI will be able to charge astronomical amounts of money and they will have no competition. And the rest of the market will simply have to accept their pricing. And that's why if you can identify who are going to be the real winners of AI today and you buy their stocks, you might not profit exponentially today, but once they monopolize the industry, their stock prices are going to dramatically rise. Now, a good example is Amazon. When Amazon started, Amazon was just another e-commerce business in the market. But because they had such a good business model and they focused on growth and monopolizing the industry, today Amazon completely dominates the e-commerce market. And the final 25%, I would not invest it at all, but rather I will simply keep accumulating cash and waiting for the right opportunity. Now, the biggest mistake that I did myself is that when I started investing, I thought that I should not let any money sit in my bank account and I should invest every single dime that I can. That is a huge mistake and you should never repeat that mistake. The market works in cycles. There are periods where the market exponentially grows and that's a bad time to invest. And then time to time, the market crashes and it offers you an opportunity where you can literally make 3 times more than you would make in 10 years. For example, back in 2020, the stock market has collapsed, but it recovered in a matter of 4 months. So whoever was sitting on a lot of cash, they made some of the best investments of their life. Another example. At the end of 2022, ChatGPT came out and it changed the entire market because it started the AI race. So if you're sitting on a lot of money, you could have purchased Nvidia stocks or Palantir stocks. Be patient, keep accumulating cash even if there is high inflation. With that single investment, you will make far more than any other investments. So in summary, before I start investing, I will get the big picture right, that I know why I'm investing, and then I will accumulate an emergency fund so that I don't have to sell my investments in the wrong time. And once I start investing, I will invest 25% of my portfolio into the NASDAQ 100 index fund. Another 25% I will invest it into S&P 500, and another 25% is going to go into individual stocks, and the last quarter I will be saving it for a great opportunity. If you have enjoyed this video and you want to get deeper into investing, then check out the Investing Academy using the link in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.